guys, Racer here with High Society Corso, back to y'all with another video. We are actually on the way right now to go get Storm tested for her progesterone levels. So basically, why do we test for progesterone is so that we know at what point she needs to be bred. So when is she going to release her eggs? When are they ready to be fertilized, basically? So we're gonna go there now, and how it works is we took her. Gosh, we actually have to do this a couple times. So unless you're like really good at like spotting it, but like right now I'm not. So I just like to kind of be on top of it. I like to know what level they are when they start and what level then obviously want to breed them. So when we first took her, she was like at about a one something. So today we waited 4 days now. This is the 4th day. We're taking her again, and what we're waiting to see is when her level gets to an 8. So basically, the most ideal numbers to when you first want to have their first breeding is going to be between 15 and 20. And how it works is I take her there. They do take a small little sample of blood. They put it into a machine, and the machine will then pull, and it usually takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Thankfully, I don't have to wait there for them to do it. They just kind of call me with the results. But after that, once I know her levels, I will then get with the stud owner that we're using. Again, we'll be using Lancelot from Temperament Corso. I'll call him, we'll set up for them to have a date, basically, and we'll kind of go from there and see what happens. Now, with the progesterone testing, sometimes you do have to go back multiple days. Well, every dog is different. With Stripes, I did take her every second day. With her, it's a little bit harder to see what's kind of going on down there, you know. Then Storm usually swells up a lot more than Stripes does. Stripes is honestly pretty kind of hidden. So I do like to just stay on top of it and know their levels. So Storm, I actually waited 4 days since we last tested her, and the last time we tested her was Friday, I believe, on Friday, and she was like barely like a 1, you know. But the minute they start, I do kind of like to know what they're sitting at, because with Stripes, she'll actually double every day. With Storm, this is the first time she's going through progesterone testing, so I don't know her patterns as of yet. But as we go along, we'll kind of figure out like how she does, because I do keep everything on record, which just kind of makes it easier for the next summer. But honestly, like even the next time they go onto their season, it can be different then too. So interesting little tidbit, unlike humans, so basically with humans, if our eggs don't get fertilized, aka we don't get pregnant, then we actually shed that egg and endometrial lining after, you know, your body realizes, okay, you didn't get pregnant, you know, so it sheds it, and then you get your cycle. But with dogs, it's a little bit different. It's kind of interesting. They will actually start bleeding, okay, at the beginning of their cycle, and then they'll go through a point where that bleeding turns to almost a straw color. It's like a diluted blood, and that's how you know that their progesterone level was rising, and only at that point are they getting ready to breed. That's when their eggs will then release, and after that the eggs will either be fertilized or they will be released. After their body realizes that the eggs are not fertilized, it actually stops releasing the hormone, that progesterone hormone that we've been talking about, and then they go back into their quiet time, like their quiet cycle. So after we determine that Storm is ready to breed, and it's today's the day type thing, then we will take her to Temperament Corso in Farmersville, and we will actually breed her 3 times with Lancelot. So 2 options or ways that you can go about it is breeding every other day. Some people choose to do every day back to back. I haven't really decided yet which method we're going to go with. I want to do some more research and just kind of see and talk to some breeder friends of us and see what they recommend. Also, Voff is his name at Typhon. He doesn't really care either way. He kind of switches it up with his dogs there. So we'll kind of do the first time and then see kind of how things go from there. So I guess it's kind of a pretty hectic week, just with the driving back and forth, and then honestly, like, I've just been kind of on a purge. Like, my son had so much stuff that we were just like holding on to, and really at this point in time, I really just don't feel like we're really wanting to have another child. So I decided, you know what, there's been a lot of people struggling through COVID. I might as well just donate it to people who really need it. I know one of my friends, she knows somebody whose husband was like shot at, has been in the hospital for a really long time, and they like practically have nothing for their baby that's literally due at the end of the month. So I went through all this stuff this morning, and so I need to go drop that stuff off. I dropped some of the stuff off with my mom. She kind of heads like a charity foundation here in the Fort Worth area. So I dropped off some of the stuff with her, and then the rest of the stuff I will give to my friend's contact or friend acquaintance basically that she knows. And really just been cleaning, getting rid of all the nonsense things we don't need, taking the dogs back and forth to these appointments. I also need to go get my tire looked at CarMax. Ever since we got it, I just feel like there's something or another freaking wrong with it. Like when we got it first, the trunk, like the motor was like stuck or something, so it would make this like really nasty like grinding sound. Then the car, every time it would hit like about 80, like it would just like shake like violently. And so I knew either like the rim was either bent, and if it wasn't the rim, then it was like the axle, or the alignment was like really off. So they went in, they checked the alignment, said it was fine. They sent the car back, it still did it. So I was like, okay, the next thing's gonna be the rim. And yes, the rims were bent, like 2 of them were bent. So they ordered me new rims, and so that part stopped. But now the back passenger set tire like continuously goes flat, and like they said that they checked them all for holes. BS, they didn't. They checked the one and then they patched it, but this one, like I hadn't driven the car in a couple of days. We were just hanging out at the house, and I go to turn on the car and the level is like at 16, and again now as I'm driving here it's telling me it's low again. So we called them like last week to order me a new tire, and we still like, and they said that they would, and we still haven't heard anything back from them. It's just been like a freaking nightmare with this company, honestly. Well, thankfully, like they're paying for all of the stuff that's wrong, because if I had to, like it would be like a whole nother story and like a shit storm, because I'd be pissed. But they're paying for it, they're fixing it, but we still haven't heard anything back from the tire, about the tire. So my husband's been calling them, trying to get a hold of them. He called them yesterday, they didn't even call back or anything. So I'm like probably gonna have to go up there, and I don't know who I'm gonna have to talk to, but it's gonna have to be somebody, because they need to figure it out. And I hope after that there's not an issue. Oh, and then when about a week or 2 after we got the car, something was wrong with the battery, like it was loose, and the car literally threw a transmission failure like warning basically. And there's like a BMW forum that I go on to kind of look at stuff for the cars, and it said that either like the battery connector is off, or it's the software that makes this like one warning pop up, because it wasn't the transmission, anything wrong with it, thank God. So I had to send in for that. So I've just been back and forth to this dealership like more times than I can count at this point. So hopefully by the end of next week it will all be sorted out. Really, I mean, I kind of don't really have time this week, because I'm gonna have to make that hour-and-a-half drive to go have Storm meet up with her boyfriend about 3 times this week. So gosh, I guess we'll see. We will see. So hopefully at the beginning of next week we will be able to get that done and taken care of before we have to start making the drives back and forth for stripes as well. Because I know the people at Discount Tire are tired of seeing me and not spending money there with them. They have the free tire inflation, so I just go every couple of days and get it filled up. I really like coming over here to do her little appointments, because there's a really good like fruit place called La Tapatia, and they have like freshly made churros. And every time my brother-in-law, sometimes like when I bring stripes, just because she is a lot bigger, I do have my brother-in-law Jeannie or my husband or whatever come with me, and we always stop and get these little like fruit cups, and they have like freshly squeezed strawberry lemonade, the best like drink I've ever had, honestly. So I always stop there and get one from there. They're like in the Grand Prairie area. So if you live in Grand Prairie, you know, Texas area, I would go and try it out. They have really good just like snacks, and they even have like the elote, the corn in a cup thing, super tasty. So we just got her done her testing, so now I will text them her name, and then in about an hour-and-a-half, 2 hours, they will text me back what her levels are. I swear to you, like guys, I think I have like a hearing problem, because every time we come here they have like fans going and people try to talk to me and I do not hear shit, not a single goddamn word. Like I'm like huh, like, and it makes me sound so like stupid. But I think I need to go for a hearing test. I've just noticed that recently about myself. And even too, like when I watch TV, I like have to watch it with the subtitles. Like if I don't have the subtitles on, I really kind of like find a hard time focusing on what it's saying, and everything kind of just sounds like jumbled to me. So I guess your girl is gonna have to go for a hearing test soon, but we are on the way back. We may get Miss Storm a little puppuccino. She did really good. It was so cute. They went to take her blood and she held her hand like this. She was like, okay, I'm ready. She already knows what's going on. But she did well, and we're just driving on the way home now. I gotta go drive by my mom's house and pick up my son, and then I gotta go home and cook dinner. I'm actually stopping real quick at Discount Tire because it was close to the vet place, and it's honestly a different one than the one I normally go to. So we're just waiting to get the tire aired up, and then we'll be on the way home. Pick my son up. I actually just got the results of her first progesterone test, and she is still not ready. She's still way too early, so we gotta wait a couple days again, and then we do the same process all over again.